everyone, my name is Dane DeFeo and welcome to Ciocca Corvette in Atlantic City. This video is the first of a series where I sit down with a bunch of Corvette buddies in Ciocca's brand new Cadillac dealership. They aren't a club, just a group of people that have been friends that meet every week with their cars to enjoy each other's company and to be there for each other if one of them needs help.
The best thing about the Corvette are the friendships that come along with it.
For this first episode, we're going to begin with Andy. Andy is a founding member of this group of Corvette friends, and his story with Corvette goes back decades. So sit back and enjoy this series that can only be called one thing, a hot dog run. Andy.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Things are good. Every day's a gift, man.
So listen, we're going to be doing a little bit of talking today, but we're doing a little test here, and it's going to be, this first episode is going to be a little bit more loosey-goosey with you and me. First question I have, though, is I hear you have some visitors. You have some people coming in out of town.
I have my one of my sons and his wife and my two granddaughters are here for the week, and having a great time with them. Beautiful weather here. They're not used to being at the shore, so they're in love with the beach. The girls are loving it. They're 5 and 6 years old.
Nice.
But by the way, I did hear that you have a nice little package, a nice little son.
Oh yeah, yeah. You ready?
And wait a minute, you might have a couple thousand pictures.
Yeah, thousands of pictures here. Hold on. Yeah, so there's one.
Yeah, you did promise me you were going to do that. A beautiful young man. It's a good thing he's looks like his mother.
Yeah, well, he definitely has his mother's eyes.
He'd be in trouble. Yeah, there he goes. And his name?
His name's Dane. Number 3.
Whoa.
Yeah. Every time my dad calls me, he goes, "How's number 3?" And great.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. I can tell you that having 3 sons,
Yeah.
it's magical. There's clubs all over, and we were just a bunch of guys and ladies, okay, who love their Corvettes, and we happened to get together, over the last almost 30 years. We never wanted to join clubs, because we just wanted to do what we wanted to do when it was time to do it. But what we do is every Friday we meet for breakfast, and we solve some of the world's problems and create more at the same time. But it's a great bunch of guys and girls, and have a good time doing that.
Yeah, so you guys are really one of the reasons why the Corvette is what it is. You know, there are racers out there. There are guys out there and gals that they buy their car and it becomes something that lives in their garage and they appreciate it. But you guys drive them.
We sure do. As a matter of fact, before I bought the Eray from you guys,
talk about that. Yeah.
I had a C8, and that was my first new one. Over 50 years, this is my 16th Corvette. But it's the joy of getting into that car. I don't need anybody else, just me, and I'm in heaven. We all feel that way. We all feel that way. I guess you might call it a passion. I use passion as a word because I also coached at a high school. And to be a good athlete, you have to really love what you're doing. And we love what we're doing.
I want to talk about your teaching and your coaching.
Yeah.
That's a big part.
Yeah, it's my life, really. Gosh, I started teaching in 1969, but I was a head coach at the first school I was at, head soccer coach. Then I came to Southern Regional here in Manahawkin, and been there as a head coach for many years. I retired from teaching 20 years ago, but I continued as a what I call a bench coach. I volunteer my time on the books, and I love working with the young players. And they keep me young.
Yeah.
And actually, I can piggyback that to one of my friends here, Dave, who you'll interview later or talk with.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and I taught together for 40-something years. And one day I went into his classroom before we really got to know each other. I went to his classroom and he had a Corvette, picture of his 62 Corvette on the wall. I go, whoa, I didn't know you were a Corvette guy. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, well, so am I. I said, do you mind if I give you a picture of my car? We put it on your wall in his chemistry classroom. And he did. So that was our beginning. That was in the late 80s, early 90s.
All right, so I know you mentioned earlier, you're on 16 Corvettes.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to remember them all, but
I can.
Okay.
but I won't.
No, it's fine. But what was the first one? What was the very first one?
When I was a wee one and they first came out, I was alive at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I always loved cars. I had an uncle who was a race car driver. He was one of the original NASCAR before they started NASCAR. Uh-huh. So I was always interested in cars, but never could afford one, a Corvette.
Right.
Until 1972, my first one was a 68 coupe.
Let's talk about this one right now, and for a couple of reasons, mainly because I have something to do with it. So when the Eray was announced, I know it's the first couple ones that I was looking to sell. I remember I talked to you about it, and you were really interested in it. And we only have so many, in a sense. Who can we get these cars for? I wanted to get somebody that drove a car. Do you know what I mean? Like I like asking you questions about this. You know what I mean? How's the battery? How's the battery break yet? Just because nobody really knows too much about these, at least at the time when you were getting it. Yeah. And then we put your order in, and GM was taking a little longer than typical. But eventually, they made about 1,400 Corvettes that year. E-Rays that year, and you're smack dab right in the middle, number 900.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I had the C8, I referred to my other one as a C8. And this,
Yeah.
That Carlisle, 2 years ago, when I still had the C8, I drove just that one day to Carlisle because they were showing off the E-Ray. They had it at the tent. But I remember coming to meet you at the Ciocca tent. Yeah. And we talked. And I said, great to see you, Dane, but I'm going to see you. I was excited about the fact that of an all-wheel Corvette and the newness of the idea.
Hybrid.
It would work out. And I thought there'd be more built, but and maybe there will be, but I'm extremely happy with this car. One of the guys who couldn't make it today bought his car from Sam.
Yeah, from Sam.
Was a good guy.
One of the things I'm hoping is that in this series, kind of pull a little bit of these people out. You know what I mean? I like talking about Sam, and I know a couple of you guys bought cars, some guys like Dave Salvatore and Ron Michael and Joe Zulli and Dave Brown. All these people that are part of the history of this place and Corvette history in a way. When we were Kerbeck, the #1 Corvette dealer for 28 years in a row, we had a great group of guys, and our job, without realizing it, really is to help people, attain their joy. You know what I mean? It's very satisfying knowing that you guys are happy.
Well, when I buy a car, I buy the dealership too, or the person I'm buying from. Well, I have to believe in that. And that's something I've always done, because when I sell one of my cars, I want that person to be my friend and vice versa. And that's how it works out. And you've been more than helpful with all of us.
You mentioned it before briefly. How long have you been going to Carlisle?
Well, actually, one of the guys here, Wayne, which you'll get to talk to later, Wayne has been going there forever. I mean, I've only been going there for like 20-something years. Oh. Back in the day, more than 20 years ago, I would say, the last day of Carlisle, they would have a giveaway car. Nobody left early. Everybody waited till Sunday at 12 o'clock when that ticket was pulled. Somebody was going to win a Corvette. But Dick, he bought his Corvette from the doctor who won that car. which is really cool.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, he still has it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful 63 red, white top, convertible, all stock. But yeah.
So just to mention, because I realized I forgot to say it earlier, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the Corvettes at Carlisle is the biggest Corvette rally by far. We have a pretty big one here for Toys for Tots. But Corvettes at Carlisle is run by Lance Miller, who's a gentleman. His father ran it for years. Every Corvette owner in the whole world heads out to Carlisle, and it's a couple-day event. And I know there's vendors. We usually bring 12, 13, 14 cars, not necessarily to sell, but just to show and to answer questions and to be there, to be part of all of it. Every year, I see the same people that come just to say hi and stuff. So it's really wonderful there, especially if you love a Corvette.
Another thing that we do that I didn't mention before was the Toys for Tots that you guys do.
Yeah, we do Toys for Tots right across the street here.
We all would meet on the expressway.
Mm-hmm.
I know there were 800-900 Corvettes there. We had to come Toys for Tots and give your donation or your gift or whatever. And it's always a great ride on the expressway.
Yeah.
I won't go into that.
Well, are you the reason why we got in trouble a few years ago? Was it you?
I know nothing about that. But then when we got there, and then the food and the music and the camaraderie, that's another thing. We all have done that. It was always a highlight to go to. So we thank you for making that available for people in need.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for coming and everything that you've done really for everybody being here and helping to spread the joy of it, and the journey of it has been a wonderful thing.
Well,
seeing you be a part of.
Well, I want to thank you for being part of it and enabling us to do that. But I have to say, I'm just one of a great bunch of people that I'm just part of that make this so exciting.
Thank you for joining me on this first episode of our series. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe because we have more episodes coming. Ciocca is America's Corvette dealer, and I'm the Corvette specialist. If you're interested in a new Stingray, Eray, Z06, ZR1, or anything that General Motors sells, all my contact information is below. See you next time on the next episode of our series.